Hello and welcome. My name is Kyle Nielsen, and this is How You Level Up, a podcast where I ask questions to help you become your best self. What is a relationship bid? The concept of relationship bids was first introduced by Dr. John Gottman, a renowned psychologist and relationship expert. Dr. Gottman and his wife, Dr. Julie Schwartz Gottman, also an American clinical psychologist and researcher, co-founded the Gottman Institute, which is dedicated to helping couples build and maintain healthy, long-lasting relationships. Dr. Gottman's research on relationships has focused on identifying the key factors contributing to relationship satisfaction and stability. Through their research, it was discovered that bids for connection are a crucial aspect of healthy relationships, and if these bids are missed, it's not a good indicator. Dr. Gottman defines a bid as any attempt by one partner to connect with the other partner. Bids can take many forms, and we perform these bids constantly. According to the research, the way your partner responds to a bid is what is of the highest interest and impact on your relationship. Research on relationship bids has been influential in the field of couples therapy and has helped many improve their communication. Now, once again, a relationship bid is an attempt by one person to connect with another person, either verbally or non-verbally. Sometimes relationship bids are a question, a statement of fact, a gesture, a touch, or even a joke. When someone makes a relationship bid, they are essentially putting themselves out there and seeking a response from the other person. They are bidding for attention against the rest of the world. Let's look at a few examples. If Jack asks Jill about their day, Jack is making a relationship bid. If Jill responds positively by engaging in conversation and sharing about their day, it can strengthen the relationship and create a positive dynamic. On the other hand, if Jill responds negatively by dismissing or ignoring, it can create distance and weaken the relationship. What might this sound like? Well, let's say Jack asks Jill, "How was your day?" If Jill responds positively and engages in conversation, they might say, "It was a good day. Thanks for asking. I had a productive day at work and then went for a run right after. How was your day?" Now, on the other hand, if Jill responds negatively or dismissively, they might say, "It was fine. I don't really want to talk about it." Now, Jill's response might come from the fact that they're tired, that they had a bad day, and are decompressing from it rather than sharing it. Or it could be that they really don't want to share about their day with Jack. Jack will need to determine which of these is the case, and what is the historical cadence of responses to this question. Meaning, does Jill always dismiss Jack's question of, "How was your day?" Or is this a one-off case? Let's look at another example. Luca had just finished reading a new book about space exploration that they found incredibly fascinating. Their partner, Lee, wasn't as interested in the topic, though could see Luca's enthusiasm. So when Luca said, "Lee, this book I just finished is amazing. It talks about potential manned missions to Mars and the technology needed for it," Lee responds positively to the bid by saying, "That sounds exciting. I'd love to hear more about it. What exactly was the most interesting part to you?" Even though Lee doesn't share the same passion for the topic, this moment strengthened their relationship as it shows that Lee values Luca's interests and is willing to engage in conversation about it. This was a positive response to a bid. Now, let's look at a negative response. Lee was browsing through an online boutique for a dress to go to their best friend's wedding. Luca was in the same room, engrossed in a football match on TV. Lee asks Luca, "What do you think of this dress? Would it be good for Jenna's wedding?" Luca, responding to Lee's bid, says, "Can't you see I'm watching the game? Choose whatever you like." It's obvious this response is dismissive. So let's change it a little bit so it's, less obvious. Again, Lee asks, Luca, what do you think of this dress? Would it be good for Jenna's wedding? Luca, responding to Lee's bid, says, you'd look good in any dress you picked. While this response is not overly dismissive, Lee was asking for Luca to look at the dress, and Luca dismissed that bid, even if in the kindest and most loving way possible. Luca's dismissive response says to Lee that they're not interested in participating in this decision-making process. In this scenario, as in the previous, Lee must take things in a historical context. Does Luca always respond to bids in this way? Is Luca simply super engrossed in the game? Lee needs to assess. In another example, with Emmy, a new mother, Emmy is up late trying to soothe their baby back to sleep. They're exhausted and a little overwhelmed. Emmy's partner, Alex, has just come in from work. Emmy, making a bid, says, I'm having a hard time getting Lily back to sleep. It's been a long day. Alex, responding positively to the bid, says, oh yeah, I can see you're tired. Why don't you take a break and get some rest? I'll take it from here. In this scenario, Alex not only acknowledges Emmy's bid, they're also offering support, showing understanding and willingness to help. In another scenario, if Emmy and Alex are at a party, and Alex is not much of a socializer and feels uncomfortable in large gatherings, they try to share their feelings with Emmy. Alex, making a bid, says, I feel out of place here, Emmy. I don't know anyone except you. Emmy, responding negatively to the bid, says, oh, come on, Alex, don't be a sourpuss. Go and mingle with people. This response from Emmy dismisses Alex's feelings instead of offering support or understanding. This response might lead Alex to feel unheard and unsupported. Relationship bids are these subtle signals that we send each day through our language and through our body. They say, I'm here. Will you be with me? Responding positively to these bids shows empathy, respect, and care. On the other hand, responding negatively or ignoring these bids can lead to feelings of disconnection and dissatisfaction. These bids allow relationships to grow and flourish beyond the acquaintance-level relationships that are all too common these days. Everyone desires to feel seen, heard, and valued. And it's through these small, seemingly insignificant interaction points that we can make the people in our life feel connected to us. As you navigate your relationships, strive to identify these bids. It will not be obvious at first, though once you catch on through your attentiveness and patience, the rewards are more than worthwhile. So now look back on your recent interactions with your significant other, or friends, or family members, and ask, what was one of your relationship bids? What was one of their relationship bids, and how did you respond to it? Thank you for listening to another episode. If you're enjoying the show, open up the app you're listening to this on and hit the like or subscribe button and give a 5-star rating. At least twice a week, you'll find a new episode asking you a new question, so you can strengthen your emotional independence, improve your communication skills, and upgrade your personal philosophy. So if there's a question you'd like me to dive into next, send it to any of these social media accounts connected in the show notes here. This is all about how you level up.